What's up, everybody? Matt Modi here with Jedi Modi Sports Network, and let's chat NFL player props for tonight. Monday Night Football, we got the Packers at the Raiders. Hopefully, the game isn't terrible, but we will see. Regardless, I have two player props for you guys to lock in tonight. For those of you that have been following me along my YouTube channel and on Twitter as well, know that we had a pretty rough stretch from last week's player props heading into Monday Night Football last week with the Seahawks game, and then Thursday Night Football with the Bears-Commanders game. Had a really, really rough stretch, but luckily, we turned things around yesterday. I had three player props that I gave out on Twitter, so make sure to follow me along on Twitter as well. I was traveling last week, so I couldn't get out a video of these three, but regardless, I had three player props that I gave out. We got all three of them to hit. As you can see on the screen here, we had CJ Stroud over his passing yards. We had Kyren Williams under his rushing yards. And we had Adam Thielen over his receiving yards. Went 3-0 yesterday. Unfortunately, dug myself into a pretty massive hole, as you can see with my overall results here. Still down pretty heavy amount on the player props and on the NFL total. But yesterday was a really good day, so I'm hoping we can turn these things around. As I mentioned, as for today, I got two more player props to lock in, and let's chat. So the first play that we're going to go ahead and lock in here is Jaden Reed over 33.5 receiving yards. You can get this at -115 odds at both and BetMGM and DraftKings. So Jaden Reed, rookie receiver for the Packers, has been awesome this year. He's been really, really good for the Packers. And I know immediately you're going to say that Christian Watson is back and he's another week healthy. He had his first game back on Thursday night. Now he's playing on Monday night. But I'm not scared off even with Christian Watson returning. I know the last time they played was his first game back, so you can say that he wasn't going to play the full allotment of his normal snaps, but Jaden Reed still went over this number last week with Christian Watson and Aaron Jones back in the lineup. And overall, Jaden Reed has gone over this total in all four games he's played so far this year. Starting with week one, he's had 48, 37, 63, and 55 receiving yards. So again, over in all four games. One thing I really like is the fact that they are slowly increasing his percentage of snaps played as well. In week one, he had 53%, and it's gone up literally every single week. So week one, as I mentioned, 53%. Week two, he had 56%. In week three, 66%. And then last week, his season high, 67% of snaps. And I'm not entirely sure that Christian Watson coming back is going to completely kill this. Christian Watson is an electric player. He's more of a big play, deep ball, or take a screen to the house type of guy. He's not necessarily someone like a Justin Jefferson or Cooper Kupp that you just immediately feed double-digit targets. That's just not the type of receiver that Christian Watson is. So even with him being back in the lineup, I'm not expecting that to take away a ton from Jaden Reed, who I think has earned the trust of the offense and the quarterback, Jordan Love. Jaden Reed has had 5 targets in all 4 games this year. As I mentioned, he's gone over in all 4 games, and I'm projecting him to have 5+ targets in this one as well. The matchup is pretty good in favor of the Packers passing offense, the Raiders. This is according to DVOA, have the 4th worst passing defense in the entire NFL. So I expect the Packers to be able to have some success through the air. And for what it's worth, FanDuel has his over under above this number in Props.Cash, which is the site I use for all my research in terms of like stats and stuff, has his receiving yards at 55 receiving yards. So well over this number. If he gets even close to that, we are good. So play number 1, Jaden Reed over 33.5 receiving yards. And then next up, our second and last play of the evening. We're taking Devonte Adams to go over 6.5 receptions. This is at plus 102 odds at Caesars. So another receiving option that I like, obviously this one for the Raiders as opposed to the Packers. Now, Devonte Adams is banged up with a shoulder injury, but it is confirmed that he's going to play today, and I project him to have his completely normal workload. I'm not expecting him to have a decrease in snaps and decrease in targets or anything like that. I'm expecting him to play normally. Jimmy G's back for this one, which to be honest doesn't really move the needle a ton, positive or negative. Devonte Adams went over this total the last 2 weeks, and he missed it in the first 2 weeks. So he's hit it in 2 of 4 games. But after getting 9 targets in week 1 and 8 targets in week 2, his target total has jumped up the past 2 weeks. He had 20 targets in week 3, 20, which is just ridiculous. And then last week he had 13, and that was the game without Jimmy G. So one game with Jimmy G, he had 20 targets. The next game he had 13 without him. He's probably going to get targeted double-digit times again in this game. He's the best receiving option that the Raiders have by far. And the thing is, even in the 2 games he missed it in weeks 1 and 2, he ended with exactly 6 receptions. So even when he misses, he's right around this number, which is good. It's always nice that he's hovering around the total. He doesn't just completely tank some of these games. And for a Raiders team that is 1-3 in desperate need of literally anything, even though I think they're a complete train wreck, the way to get the offense going and to get the team going is to hyper target your best player, Devonte Adams. So I think, again, he's probably going to get double-digit targets in this one. In terms of the Packers defense, completely middle of the pack, passing defense specifically, I'm not necessarily scared off of Jair Alexander following Devonte Adams around because, A, they do move Adams a lot, and he can even take some snaps in the slot as well, which they most likely will not have Jair Alexander follow him into the slot. So a lot of reasons why I like Devonte Adams in this one. For what it's worth, Props.Cash, again, the site I use for all of my statistics, the source I use also has him going over 6.5 receptions. So very confident that we're going to go 2-0 on these plays tonight. If you are riding with me, make sure to comment and let me know. Other than that, like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff helps me out a ton. Thanks for watching and have a good one.